If you go disempowered or falsely empowered, you've lost
Can you
touch.
share a little bit more about that? Like what, especially what's up here? Because
Oh, the falsely empowered?
yeah, that see, I asked because this happens to even people that are beginning or doing the work proactively that they don't realize when they go up there and they get on what I would call the high horse and get off of it, but then they get on again. It seems to be like a thing they lean on
Yeah.
still.
Well, you can tell false empowerment because it's black and white, all or none thinking. All right. And so there's no moderation in it. Whereas, the polar opposite of that, there's no moderation either. So a person lacking in maturity and moderation, how would I say it? A person who is mature and moderate may have strong opinions about things, but be open to be the seeker of the wisdom and go, I don't. Here's a perfect example. I had a client came in to see me and, really liked everything I talked about, thought I was the perfect teacher and coach for her. And in our first session, she got talking about past lives and thought her past life had something to do with it. I'm like, I got nothing to do with your past lives. I didn't say it as dismissive as that. I'm just doing it now, just to cut to the chase. Anyway, she came back the next week and fired me. And she said the reason she fired me was, we're both big fans of Louise Hay. And Louise Hay believes that, or she is no longer alive, she did believe in past lives. Now, a falsely empowered person would have, because she said, look, the fact that you responded that way lets me know that you haven't recovered enough because you don't see that. Now, a falsely empowered person would have responded to her and argued with her about how wrong she was. Or tried to correct Louise Hay. Like, that's crazy, whatever it may be. All right. They're going to use some sort of argument base to win the argument. Well, as soon as she said it, I had to check my reality. And I'm like, okay, what is my reality? Because I'm not going to give myself away. I'm not going to just agree just to be nice and placate her and keep her as a client. What are my morals and values, needs and wants, negotiables and non-negotiables? And so I paused for a moment. I thought about it. I'm like, well, in my reality, I just don't see the possibility of past lives. Does that make me right? I sat on that one for a while and went, well, I've had a lot of beliefs in my life that I was certain I was right about or were true to me, only to find out later with age, experience, wisdom, whatever you want to call it. I'm like, yeah, I don't believe that's true anymore. That's not true for me anymore. I wonder if it's possible that even though I've spent all these years recovering, that Louise Hay and this client could be right. Maybe there is some sort of level of recovery where all of a sudden you get some insight and you're like, oh my God, yes, we've all lived before. Doesn't seem possible to me, but a lot of the things I teach and believe now never felt possible to me either. And so I just admitted that to her. I said, you know what? You're probably right. I said, all I can, and see, this is maturity and moderation. I can take responsibility that it's possible I'm wrong. I don't go falsely empowered that, oh, I'm right. I don't go disempowered, give myself away and say, she's right. I hold on to my truth. I express it that I don't see that right now. I'm open to your possibility that I haven't healed enough to see it. I'm also open to the possibility that it doesn't exist. But either way, I'm okay. What I really like, though, out of everything is you came in to see me because you had a hard time expressing yourself. Looks like you're doing pretty darn good because I'm in a position of authority like a father. And you just came in and very politely, not rudely, but you stood up for your morals, values, needs, wants, negotiables, and non-negotiables. You expressed your reality. and took ownership of your belief system. I think that's wonderful.
You got exactly what you needed, which was an opportunity to take this.
Well, she got all that she could get from me, right? That's all I was able to teach her was in that moment. Not that I taught her anything. And this is what, to me, coaching is mostly about, is I model it. So I modeled what that looked like, which opened the door for her to then step up and see what it looks like. Because that's really, my job is in many ways a parent. I'm modeling what you didn't get so that you can be it for yourself. And so by not going falsely empowered or disempowered like her parents, I stayed here. She feels safe enough to express herself. And that's all I meant to teach her.
Mm-hmm.
And so she needs to find another teacher who knows about past lives, because for her journey, which is none of my business, which she gets to pursue, because I am not the arbiter of what your authentic self is, only you can be the arbiter of that. For her, it includes past lives. Well, she needs to find a teacher who can teach her about that. I can't. I'm not qualified. This goes back to earlier. There's so much to know.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know that. So I can't teach you any of it. So this is the only part I can teach you based on my skill set and what I believe in. So yeah, I guess we're done.
Mm-hmm.
It was a great conversation. We both walked away in relationship. I didn't get a bad review. I'm sure, I know when she walked in the door, that was her idea. She was very upset with me. She wasn't upset with me. She was disappointed. She was sad. She thought I would be her answer. She didn't realize I was just a piece of the puzzle on her journey. I wasn't the complete puzzle. And none of us teachers are. I can only teach certain pieces of the puzzle. I don't have them all.
Yeah.
I'm very good at these. It's like I talk about emotional mastery. It's wonderful at putting the square pieces around the puzzle. It does a fantastic job at that. It doesn't offer you the middle. My skill set is the middle. The tough pieces, nobody likes that part of building the puzzle. It's trying each little, it's too, no. Well, that's my skill set, is here's how you find those middle pieces and here's how they go together. It's the type of work. And so I'm a teacher for this, not that. That's a whole
great analogy.
Yeah.
I see it.
And that's the difference between emotional intelligence and emotional mastery. Emotional intelligence gives you the border to the authentic self puzzle that we're all searching for, and the emotional equilibrium and awareness and management that we're all in search of. It opens the door and it sets the border. But for you to achieve the completion of the puzzle, you need emotional mastery. And that's why I developed it, is because this is what I'm doing it. And so that's what I put together, is here's the full puzzle. So you can complete your authentic self journey and emotional intelligence / mastery process, and be able to navigate all of these things. Now, to do that, you need to learn about codependence and all these other things that emotional intelligence, remember, they're just giving you the leaf on the tree. I'm giving you the branch, and then the trunk, and then the root and the seed. That's what I decided to focus on, because that's more where my skill set is. It's not out here.
Yeah.
And I guess in her eyes, I'm missing the center of the puzzle, because I don't know anything about past lives. And I'm open to that being a possibility, a truth. Maybe she's right.
Mm-hmm.
So that gives you, I think that's a better analogy to show you a falsely empowered person can't get there.
Mm-hmm.
They have to be, they just they're steadfast. They won't give in to anything. And that's really what that is a detachment. Falsely empowered are detached from their emotions. They're stuck in the left side of their brain. The left side is a denial-making monster. The way our left side, or so-called logical side that everybody wants to live in and promotes, is the worst thing for us. It is constructed as a denial machine that even in the face of obvious proof, think of all the social things that happen in our life, and you put up a video showing somebody that they're wrong and they will deny it. That's what the left hemisphere does. It denies truth. Even in the face of it, it'll double down in its falseness and go further. And then it has one other trick up its sleeve. It then flips the script and makes itself the victim. And think of a narcissist. That's the falsely empowered. They're stuck in the left hemisphere, detached emotionally.